Ladies and gentlemen, it is showtime. Please enjoy the show.
It's the corner where the treats at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you landed here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We got to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfare.
Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Chief Concerns. I'm Marcus Dash. Right there is our guy, former Chiefs tight end, Jason Dunn. JD, how are you doing? I'm seeing people in the chat here. I had the same kind of thing that happened to me. It's Wednesday. It doesn't really feel like a Wednesday night. I was driving earlier, and I was like, is it Wednesday? We have a show tonight. And it was like, oh, man, it's only Wednesday. I thought it feels like a Thursday. It feels like the week's kind of going slow so far. I don't know how you feel.
Well, I mean, it had to do with Memorial Day. You know,
Sure.
that's probably what it is. But it does. It feels like it is a Thursday, right? And so I think that's probably the reason for that, Marcus. You know, when you have an extra day off and you feel like, you know, you done did a whole lot these past few days, it'll lay on you. It'll lay on you a little bit. So, you know, you start looking at it like, dang, God, I still got some time to go for this week to be over. But other than that, man, that's probably the reason. That's why it feels that way. So, it's good. It's good. Wednesday's always a good time, man, because we get to get on here, start talking to some people, ask them some real questions, whatever it is you want to throw out to us. Hey, man, we're here to answer. And there's going to be some good conversation tonight. So with that, man, let me say what's up to everybody that's in the chat, man. How about that? How about we do those things? What's going down, G-Pick? Hearts and Roses. Hello. Linda Hunter, how you doing? Good to see you, Linda Hunter. Witchy Hall is here in the house. How you doing, Witchy? Good to see you. Zulu. Question mark. Boss is too small to handle the run in the NFL. Who? Okay. Somebody put a question mark. We'll have to ask that. We'll answer that. Going in, Zulu. Who else we got in here? We said G-Pick. Gary Holland is here. What's going down? Gary Holland. Jeremiah de Muertos. What's up, Jeremiah? So that's who's in right now. Rick Henderson just popped in. What's up? What's going on, Rick? How you doing, brother? Hendrickson. Okay. So, yeah, man. Yeah. So we got some good things to be talking about tonight. When people pop in, I'll say the names and whatnot. So we'll do this. It's the start of my week, football focus. There you go. Good deal. So it is. Football is here, baby. It's spring football. And everybody's into it. This is kind of the time, we talk about it, where you start having OTAs, everybody walks in. Now, look, this is where everybody gets on their toes when they walk in, right? So, you know, obviously the rookies and the guys that's coming in for the first time in the NFL going to meet some of their stars, some of their heroes, guys they've only heard about. Now they get to play with Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Chris Jones, Isaiah Pacheco, Hollywood Brown, Rasheed Rice, McDuffie, you know, I mean, man, let's go on and on. Bolton, I mean, come on now. So this is a good time. But everybody walking in on their toes, chest sticking out, trying to look bigger than what they are. Okay, this is how it all works out. So good times, y'all. Good times. So what's up, Marcus? How's it going, brother?
I'm going good. It's going good, man. You know, you mentioned that, you know, football's getting closer. Obviously, with the guys seeing the videos of these guys going to the facility. I know we haven't really seen much of anything else, but seeing these guys go to the facility, they walk-in videos, Najee, Isaiah Pacheco, Mahomes, Kelce, all the guys being back in town just tells you, makes you feel it's kind of an illusion, JD, because it makes you feel like we're closer to football than we are. I mean, we're getting closer, but we're still months away from September and obviously training camp, but still, like it's like we're closer. We're getting there each and every day. But yeah, I'm doing good. Now this Sunday, as you guys know, on Monday I mentioned it, and we had one of our new subscribers wasn't a fan of me mentioning it, but flag football playoffs this Sunday, JD. So we're getting ready. The ankle is ready. It's ready.
Flag football, ankle's ready. Okay, that's what we're talking about. So you've been getting all the necessary rehab on it, you know, icing it, getting it ready for the playoffs so you can go do your thing.
Yes,
That's
sir.
good, man. I love to see it. I love to see it. Oh no, somebody said something in our chat or a comment. It was like, hey, Marcus, you talking about your flag football. Listen, Marcus Dash is a flag football phenom, okay? He is a legend, all right, in that space. So we got to celebrate him while he's in here to talk about it. And when he goes out there, he reps out Kansas City because he got that sidearm over the top like PM15, man. And I love to see it. I love to see it. So go get him, Marcus. Go get him. I told you, man, look, I'll come up here and be a celebrity tight end or something for you.
We've been waiting.
Right.
We've been waiting for that. We've been waiting for Big 8-9.
All right, man. All right. I'm coming out there throwing elbows and everything. Can you throw elbows?
It's not contact. It's not contact, but they give a little liberty at the line. So if you're getting pressed, there's they allow some contact.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, I will say, like, for a lot of new listeners and subscribers, I know we had a major influx of people over the last few weeks since you did your spot on Cole's show. We've had a lot of new faces and new subscribers coming on. So during the spring and summertime, we do talk a little bit about my flag football league a little bit, not too much. We just talk about it a little bit. But of course, we are family here at Chief Concerns. We are going to talk about some of our personal lives here on the show. That's kind of what we are. We're family. We're community. You know, you're going to get a lot of Chiefs news, but again, we are family here on Chief Concerns, and we're going to talk about anything you guys say in the chat, as well as what's going on in our lives. So that's kind of what you're getting here at Chief Concerns. So hopefully you guys can deal with a little bit of flag football conversations.
Hey, it's good banter going back and forth, good conversation. And yes, like you said, I think it's what makes us a very different type of podcast, right? So when we come out here, we do speak about our lives. We ask out there how y'all are doing. So this is a platform that everybody could kind of speak, ask you questions, but also too, what we're going to do is we're going to be very personable to you all. Okay. So it's not like you're not going to get to know who we are. You're going to get to know who Marcus is. You've seen Teicher and his brother come on. You've seen some of my family members come on. To us, this is a good time, man. This is family. When you come over here, Chief Concerns, you have signed up with a family. You are always going to be family. So, hey, join the fun, join the family, come and have a seat, sit down and relax. We are talking. We are having a conversation with our family, including you, all new subscribers and the old ones right here. So same thing. I'll give out a shout out to everybody that comes on here like I'm about to do. Is I'm the Brown just came in. Andre Chenault is in the house too. What's up, brothers? Good to see you all coming in the spot. Okay, we got some good things to talk about. George Karlaftis is here. What's up, my brother? Good to see you too. Justin Blackwell. Howdy. Laura Zinziger. Hello, Laura. Good to see you. So yeah, man, it's always a good time. We bring people on in to have a conversation. So
yeah, we are a family here, and we're going to talk about everything that's going on in your lives. You know, when people say that what's going on in their lives, you know, we throw out birthday wishes, you know, send blessings people's ways, and prayers when people have things going on. So, you know, we're a family here, and that's the way we're going to ride. So,
yes, sir.
So yeah, and of course you're gonna get a lot of Chiefs talk. And we're gonna go into Chiefs talk right now. So let's get into it. JD, you kind of mentioned OTAs and how the guys are back in town. You see the videos online, but let's kind of dig into what OTAs are. I've seen a lot of people asking questions about OTAs, what's going on, because there really hasn't been much video. So this week, Chiefs are beginning their 10 days of voluntary organized team activities, OTAs. This will be followed by a 3-day mandatory mini camp. So Chiefs will conduct its 10 voluntary OTA sessions on these dates. So May 27th or 29. So tomorrow is the final day of this OTA session. And then you have June 2nd to June 4th, June 10th to June 13th. So during OTAs, a little bit about that. No live contact is permitted. 7-on-7, 9-on-7, 11-on-11 drills are allowed. So JD, as the fellas head into the building, obviously you've been in this situation, right? Thousands of times, yeah. What is going on there? Like, how much of it is it classroom work? How much of it is, because talk about the on-field stuff, 7-on-7, 9-on-7, and like what are coaches looking at? And as far as position groups, right? Because lines are like not getting much play here. With his whole with the 7-on-7, 9-on-7.
So yeah, but go ahead.
But no, as far as like what players and position groups have kind of the most to gain from this, from the OTAs, like as far as position groups wise. So just kind of walk us the whole picture of what OTAs is.
So OTAs is pretty much is an overview of what you're going to be doing for the season. It's just getting everybody prepared. But it's an introduction to the playbooks, introduction to your coaches, what the system is going to be about. You're going to come in and find out the philosophy, the team philosophy, or what it means to be a chief. And so whatever it is that the motto is, they're going to talk about it. And probably some of the reason that you don't see a lot of the media coverage out there, I think Andy made sure he got those guys, pretty much tied in and saying, hey, listen, this is what it's going to be. Okay. We're not coming out here to, show our teeth to everybody out here in the media. Okay. We're here to get the job done. I'm sure he probably told them that, there was a little bit of embarrassment. They didn't finish the season like they wanted to. I think everybody in here comes in with the same mindset that they still got a job to get done. Okay. It's not finished. And so for them, they're making a point exactly what it is and what it means to be a chief. This is what the OTAs is all about. So the ones that's going to probably benefit the most out of it, obviously the skill players, because you're throwing the football around. It's all about retention. They want to see who can retain the information the best, and also, too, who can transition it to the field. They don't want you to be a robot. That was one thing, they never did really want you to do. That was one thing I know. I don't know if y'all seen this or not, but Gruden gave a shout out on the Barstool Gruden show and stuff like that. But Gruden used to always say he didn't want guys to be robots out there when you're running pass routes and all those different things, right? You want to see a little bit more of your skill set, you doing those things. But first, you got to get a good understanding about what it is that you're trying to do offensively and defensively, the philosophies that's there. Also, too, man, listen, we got to understand that this evaluation is not necessarily for all the older guys. They'll get their time, obviously, in OTAs come out. But the younger guys, the guys that's trying to fit, the guys that's trying to make the team, they're going to get a good look at those guys as well. So it's going to be short burst of things. A lot of classroom work. You're going there for a few hours, absolutely. But then you get out there on the field. So I think the lesser part of what you're doing is out on the field work. Okay, you're going to be doing more so fundamental drills, techniques and stuff like that. This is where all those things are going to come into play. And so the coach is going to know who you are, how do you work, what your character is, what type of work you really are. What do you know as far as your intelligence on the football field? Okay, what have you learned? Do you understand the difference between cover 3 and cover 2, or cover 5? Do you understand the difference between the 34 front or 4-3, 25 or 49? All those different things they're going to be asking. So this is really, I would say, man, a knowledge-based part of what you do, Marcus. So forth right now, and then of course you bring the physical part into it. But I will say this: linemen do get a lot of work. Okay, it's gonna be some pass rush, speed, and all those different things. They say no contact. There's no way you're gonna be able to avoid it. There's still gonna be pass rush. Guys are gonna get one-on-one. You're gonna get lathered up in that regard. So that's pretty much what OTAs is. So.
Now, have you ever witnessed, you have to say any names or anything, they ever witnessed guys get cut from OTAs?
Yeah. Sure, they cut guys anytime. I mean, shoot, that's I think the 90 that they have, they're pretty kind of set with and want to kind of stick with now. I mean, unless it's just something that's like, all right, we got to move on from this guy and bring somebody else in. And, it's all up to the scouting department and obviously, pro personnel to get those things done. It's going to be in a full evaluation. The coach is going to be in the office looking at these guys. This is kind of like for the coaches too. This is where they put all the hay in the barn, really. They start seeing, okay, what are we going to do with Hollywood Brown? How many plays are we going to have with him? Are we going to run more 12 or 13 personnel? Okay, and we're going to go into training camp. So what they're doing is, this is a prerequisite before you get into training camp to say, this is how we're going to start structuring things, right? And they pretty much know. But the thing is, they don't know each and every player. So the rookies that came in, they're trying to find out about them. The Galate, how does he play? Is he a hard worker? Can he come from the backside? Jalen Royals, is he going to get some reps? How good does he look? Right? Rasheed Wright might be out of there. Can Jalen Royals get in here if he's retaining information? But they got a little look with the guys when they were in the rookie camp, but they also want to see how the guys mess with the veterans. It's a whole different thing too. Seriously, whole different thing. So it's a good time, man. It's really good time for football players to kind of come in and I'd say get an assessment of each and every one that's there in the building.
We got Chad on the show. What's up, Chad? There he is. There's the man.
There's
the guy.
There he is. There he is. What's going down, Neff? Good to see you. Good to see you all. So Neff, I told everybody, man, we appreciate it. Our family appreciate it. You appreciate the prayers and all those different things that everybody gave to you. So we just want to thank you. But Chad is right there, man. He is there, listening, hearing it all, man, hearing it all. So
that's our guy.
Yeah,
love Chad.
Love him. They love you, Chad. They love you, Neff.
That's our man. That's our man.
Good time, sir.
JD, you actually made an interesting comment there. So you said like they want to see like the young bucks, how they kind of like interact with the vets. So that's also part of this too. It's kind of like just seeing how they kind of like muck in with like the culture of the team. That's kind of a part of it. Like, because I mean, a lot of these guys, obviously Division II, right? I mean, when we first came in there, you had a lot of different news, and it was the inaugural season. My first the school I went to was Division II school. It was the inaugural season, so everybody was new with each other. Right? So there wasn't already a built up culture in there. But obviously, you could see who were the freshmen and who were the guys who were transferred from Division II schools. So we had a couple guys who came from Abilene Christian who were at that school. As you could tell, those are the vets, those are the older guys, and there's a lot of the freshmen, right? So like with the young bucks, like obviously, we've had some of the guys come on, Major Williams, Jimmy Holiday. Some of them might be a little bit more shy than others. So like, is that something that like they look at? Like our team's looking down upon guys who are shy or introverts, or no?
No. Nobody's looking down on anybody because they're shy.
Right.
I think everybody's just trying to figure everybody out. Get a beat who everybody is, really. And so that's kind of guys who sit back and kind of like, okay, let me just stay out of everybody's way a little bit, right? I'm just gonna sit back. If I talk to somebody, say, hey man, how you doing? And then just carry on the conversation. But you know how it is, man. When you're a new guy around the block, you got to it's easy steps coming in, right?
Yeah.
Take it slow.
Nerve-wracking for sure.
Huh?
Nerve-wracking for sure.
Absolutely. So somebody probably called Travis Kelce, Mr. Kelce. Hey, Mr. Kelce, how you? Wait a minute, hold on, right? Or Pat, they want to talk to Pat. Like, oh man, I ain't gonna talk to Pat. So,
was there a moment to you like towards like the end? Because you were there for such a long time. Was there a moment to you towards like kind of the end of the days in Kansas City where like guys were coming in hi, like nice to meet you, Mr. Dunn, kind of thing? Were you getting like, all right, man, you're making me feel old? Like, nah.
I had never had anybody call me Mr. Dunn. So, I would say this. Guys that we had tight ends, man, we welcomed them in real quick, So, we would talk to them, mess with them, all those different things, man. But we let them know immediately, hey, man, you made it here because you're supposed to be here. That's what it was supposed to be. So that's the way we look at it, especially bring like young rookies in. Talk to everybody. I was one of those, you know me, man. I'm a personal guy. So I talked to everybody, man, where you from, man? Where you go to school at? Oh, yeah, I went to such. Oh, okay. I know such and such. You know this coach or whatever, right? Whatever it may be. To try to at least, break the ice, make them a little bit more comfortable into it. But some of them jokers be walking around mean mugging. You like, oh, God, I ain't going to talk to this dude.
Really?
Yeah.
The young bucks?
Well, everybody's trying to look tough. And then some veterans trying to look tough as well. And so you don't quite know who's going to mess with you, who's not going to mess with you, right? Not hazing in itself, but guys are still trying to feel dudes out. I say this all the time, man. Look, when I first got to the league, and I think of OTAs, I remember seeing defensive end. Oh, man. William, oh, man, I can't think of Williams' last name. Well, this joker had hair on his shoulders, like all the way from the top all the way down. I ain't never seen hair on a joker's shoulder like that. I knew I was playing with some grown men. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't like no little bitty. I mean, this is full on grown, curls and stuff. Yeah, like sound like Chris Jackson. I was like, look at this joker. I ain't never seen hair. He put his jersey up, put it all the way up like this. So the hair all just extenuated. He said gorilla arms. Yeah, it was just hairy. Gorilla bear arms. Bear. That was just like hair like a bear, man. That joke was, and I was just like, dang God, look at this sucker right here. And you got to realize these jokers have wife and kids. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna have that in college. Not really. So it's true. This sucker it looked like you tear somebody's head off.
Well, right there's where you're like, okay, this ain't a kid's game anymore. It's a man's game now.
Yes, sir. You are not still in college. William Fuller. Thank you, Noah John Marshall. Yes, sir. William Fuller. That's it. Woo! Man, pull a picture of William Fuller up. You got a picture, pull him up.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
You're going to see a man. I'm talking about real men. Okay, you're going to see one. Shoot, yes, show that. And the Hearts and Roses. Yeah, I never really see nobody like that in college. Everybody's still trying to might have had one or two few guys that had, full beards and stuff like that, but that joker had hair on his shoulders, like I always down. So I don't know.
Yeah, pulling it up.
Love to see his joker boy. There you go. Go to that. There you go. Yeah, pull that.
Yeah, bigger than that. You can kind of see.
Yeah. Big Fuller play defensive end. Go to his picture. Like his face. There's one.
Oh man.
Ha! Oh, I'm talking about it. That's it. Big fool right there, baby. Hey, man. Hey, I would say, man, a real man. Look at that. Come on.
Wow.
That's what I was going against.
Oh yeah. You can see. Yeah, furry arms, man.
Yeah, every single day is what I was going against. That's grown man right there. That's real deal. This is when defensive ends was 310 pounds.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sure. William Fuller, man, was a Pro Bowler. I'm talking about scary dude, man, but it's gentle. Look at that. Come on, man. Oh. But as cool as a cat, you know what I'm saying? Is gentle, intelligent, all those things, man. I'm telling you, like the way scares he looked, he was just as gracious of a guy, man. He really was. Just stand-up dude. I think he might have been a player's rep too, man.
Interesting. Wow.
Big Fuller right there, baby. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that was the guy like where you're like, welcome to the NFL. Like, okay, like that's like this is I'm amongst men now.
I'm amongst men. These are men in here. Oh, yeah. He's up to my daddy, double-digit sack guy. He was a double-digit sack guy before I got there, Noah John. I believe, yeah. So he was at Houston and then came to Philly. Like I said, Pro Bowler. I helped him out. Sure, I tried my best to help him out. That joker right there, man, what I'm talking about, a headache. And I'm going to say, I got to block this guy? I'm like, jeez. So.
I mean, it definitely helped you out, right? I mean, having to block this guy right out the gate. I mean, so that helped you for sure.
Absolutely. No question about it. That was the thing about, that I talk about because it helped my skill. Helped me become a better blocker. So when I was blocking a Reggie White or the Strahan or Charles Haley, Bruce Smith, and those guys, Kevin Green, Greg Lloyd. I could go on and on who I had to go against. I had Big Fool to go against every single day in practice. That had to help me tremendously. And so that's what these guys are going to see. They're going to see that. You know what I mean? So when you have a tight end, guess what? You're going to be going against, or Karlaftis or, FAU. Chris Jones might line up out there too on you. You know what I'm saying? So, scary jokers, man. So, he wasn't the only one. So, good stuff.
That's great. Well, hopefully, these guys are, getting their, and also too, it's also a good thing to have this for a lot of the young guys, the guys you have on the show. Like they are starstruck. Get it out now because once you get to training camp, you're going to be, you're going with these guys all the time. So this is kind of the good like buffer period for a lot of these guys to meet some of these dudes and get that like starstruck feeling out of the way. So then now it's okay. Now we're teammates and comrades.
Yeah, absolutely, no question about it. And that's how you get introduced to it. You build those relationships. But yeah, this is what it's all about. T-Bone said, JD, did you go against Jared Allen in practice or when he left KC? I went against Jared in practice and also when he left Kansas City. So, Jared, man, I tell him, man, he cut his teeth here. I was kind of the older statesman when Jared was here, helped him out a lot, man. So, yeah, Jared Allen, man, that's my guy. That's my guy, man. So he's getting into the Hall of Fame Well deserved. Well deserved.
For
You just
sure.
know it was going to be good anyway. So yeah, it was kind of definitely when it's Jared. Mm-hmm.
It'd be interesting because, a lot of these guys, like you said, with your situation with Fuller, like that kind of helped you kind of get to where you were in the NFL. You could be definitely part of his, his speeches. Cause because teeth going against guys like you during practice. So you may get a shout out in that speech, JD.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. So, he got there, he got against top-notch talent. That's for sure. Shooting Gonzalez and me, and he was going to get the full gamut. He got it.
For sure.
Definitely. So that's definitely respect there. No question.
Yeah.
Andre Brown said this could sum it up. He was one of Buddy Ryan's guys. Yes, he was. William Fuller. They weren't playing around up there.
Yeah. That's great. I love CJ. I love the OTA stories like that because you can talk from a point of view that none of us can go to kind of experience what you were experiencing when you first came in there.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it did.
With Jared Allen?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we got a pretty good haul for the trade, I believe, if I remember correctly. I think that's kind of what set us up to get Brandon Albert and Jamal Charles, I believe. I could be wrong about that. But I think that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now we're going to continuing our tight end talk because we love talking about tight ends on this show. So pictures of Travis Kelce are making the rounds online. People are talking about his weight, and not because we're paparazzi and all this stuff, not because we're all in the entertainment world. Talking about his weight because, he was talking at an Amazon Prime event where he said he's dropped 25 pounds this offseason, which ties directly back to when Pat McAfee read his text off on his show saying that, quote, I'm going to try to get back to the best shape I've been this offseason, get back to the mountaintop. So, many said that Travis looked a little slower last year, looked maybe a little thicker during the year last year. And obviously if he's dropped 25 pounds, maybe he wants to get back into that good shape that he was in during his career. And many are speculating. I've seen our guy Cole, who's on his show, kind of highlighted he's lost weight. Hopefully he can get back to his Mr. Yak ability that he always portrayed throughout his career, of being able to kind of get yak yards after catch. Now, JD, when you see Kelce, and I'll go to a full here, these are the two photos that people were talking about him looking as thin, or leaner, I would say. But this is a photo from the Amazon Prime event where he looked thin and where he actually talked about how he lost 25 pounds to reporters there. Now, it's one thing to text Pat McAfee and say, hey, I'm going to try to get back into shape, get back to the mountaintop. It's another thing to actually go out and do it, right? He's lost 25 pounds this offseason, so he says. JD, what does this tell you about kind of Travis Kelce's mindset on going into the season, on potentially being his last season, but as well as he's dropped 25 pounds and he's ready to kind of rock and get back after it this year?
It tells me that, he's serious. That's what it tells me. So let me give context here. He said he dropped 25 pounds. So it means he probably picked up a lot of weight during the off season after, it was all over, right? Just kind of enjoyed himself, sat back. I mean, look, him and his brother, Jason, they're built, they could carry pounds on them. You know what I'm saying? He could probably still be 265 and still look the same way. And so he could have been, like I said, 265, during the off season. And, because he was having a good time. No telling what he could have got up to. No telling. But the 25 pounds in itself is a good thing. That just tells me that what he's doing is getting his body ready for the last hurrah. And so that 25 pounds, I'm thinking Travis is going to play somewhere around 245, 250, maybe, is where he's going to be. So he can kind of still be thin and light, but still be strong. You know what I'm saying? So whatever extra he had on, he's saying, I'm going to cut all that up. I'm going to get back down to the best shape and, tighten everything up as much as he can. So I think that's what it is. But Marcus just tells me, man, the man's serious. The man's serious. He's about to go out on his shield. That's what this thing is all about. And so he understands this. This is, like we said before, all intents and purposes, what we heard. This is going to be his last season. And so why not go and do it right? So I'm sure he's been working his tail off, and that's good for him.
Sasha brings up a good point. He's just kind of asking, is that a bit too much? I mean, right? Because if you look at his player profile on the website, which, as you know, JD, those player profiles aren't exact. Because when are you doing that? Before the season? After the season? When are they weighing these guys? But Kelce was listed at 250 on the player profile on the Chiefs page. If he lost 25 pounds, he's at 225? I mean, you don't think he's at 225, do you?
Heck no, not at all. Not at all. Not in the slightest. I don't think he would be effective at 225. The thing is, when you lose 25 pounds, what do you lose the most of? Is it muscle? Is it fat? All the extra things. So him leaning up, losing 25 pounds, it's not him coming down from 250. I'm sure he picked up weight during all season, and he lost, whatever he picked up all season to where he is now today, adding it all together. So that's it. He ain't down to no 225. I guarantee that. He don't look like no 225 right there. He's right there besides Jason. I mean, he still look about 245. So, yeah, shoot.
So what do you think his playing will be right around 250, you think?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. Yeah.
Man, so you got to 275? Woo-wee.
I mean, I'm not sure what he got up to.
Right.
He lost 25 pounds, so it could have been from what I don't know exactly where he was. Like I said, he could have been 270 or 265, got 235. He's still going to put another 10 pounds of muscle on. So he's got to build himself back up, especially now, to see how he's going to be able to transition for his last year. Because it's a lot of it. A lot of it is, can I play effectively at a lower weight, depending on what it is. So whatever weight Travis wants to play in, he'll know. He'll know. I'm sure he's got a nutritionist, all those different things that's talking to him as far as dealing with this. I'll tell you who else dealt with this. It was Gonzalez. Gonzalez, he dropped pounds and stuff like that. It went to more of a plant-based diet just to be healthier. And it helped him play a longer time. Sure, the Joker played for 17 years, and a lot of it was what he was able to tweak and during the off season to get him to be the best he could possibly be.
Well, that's interesting because I read one of these. I think it's hilarious with Travis Kelce now is that there's honestly more articles about him from these tabloid websites than there are like sports websites anymore, which is pretty comical at this point. But I was trying to do a little bit more research on this, and I read from one of the either People or Entertainment Weekly that the 25 pounds could potentially be coming from obviously working out, but Taylor also is a vegan. She has a vegan diet. So kind of what you said with Tony, kind of how it went more plant-based. Maybe he went and kind of dabbled in that this offseason. If he was trying to get down on weight, maybe he dabbled with that. And that, because when you say Tony went to kind of a plant-based diet, then maybe that is kind of like where he maybe kind of went toward that kind of extreme with it.
Yeah. Because a lot of it helps with, information, recovery from injuries. So I'm not sure what all that entails. I'm just giving you an example of what somebody else did, like Tony, how he just changed his diet up and whatnot to be leaner, to be better. The recovery was better, it was quicker. So all these things took place. And I think during the season, he started to incorporate a little bit more like animal protein, because nutritionists is like, look, you still need protein, good protein, to still do some of the things you need to do, right? To help grow your muscles and whatnot that that's necessary. So, especially going to take a lot of hits and whatnot. So that's it.
Yeah.
We ain't playing badminton and volleyball out there, Marcus. So they're going to get hit.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. And also too, if he felt, and I think one thing it kind of speaks to is kind of talking about his mindset's if he does want to trim up a little bit, maybe he just thought he was slower. Maybe this could be kind of his thing to kind of get back into his, being the Travis that he wants to be, right? He feels he needs to lose the weight. That's great. It also too kind of ties into what we talked about earlier on in the week. We talked about Noah Gray kind of having a little bit more of a role. Maybe Kelce wants to cut some weight. Maybe he's not going to be able to feel as much as we had seen before. Maybe he's going to be more of a, not saying they're going to take away from rundowns or whatnot, because obviously we know what he can do in the blocking game. But maybe he kind of prioritize more being on the field as more of a vertical threat kind of thing this year, being more his usual kind of receiving self, not maybe in the blocking game as much. I don't know. Just trying to think of ways if he is losing all this weight here. And obviously, we don't know how much he's going to be. His end weight's going to be, but maybe they utilize him more in the passing game rather than not utilizing him on all three downs.
I don't know. There's some, like I said, they'll talk about it and discuss it. Like I said, all of this is, dropping 25 pounds. That's why OTAs is so important, right? Because you have time to make those adjustments to see where you are physically and see how the body responds to it. So,
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Linda Hunter, I was hoping to get through the Travis segment without hearing about Taylor. It's not that I don't like her, but it's going to be nice.
Oh, wow, Linda.
I'll say this. I mean, honestly, we didn't really. We said that Taylor has a vegan diet. That's pretty much it. But I will say this: the Taylor Swift stuff is kind of in a way where people complain about seeing her during games. If you guys watched any Knicks games over the last week, and so the playoffs, I've seen more Timothée Chalamet in those games than I have ever seen Taylor Swift in a Chiefs game before. They can just constantly keep showing Timothée Chalamet on the sideline. I don't hear anyone complaining about seeing Timothée Chalamet all the time. I think it's obnoxious. I think the kid's obnoxious as heck. But nonetheless, we're complaining about Taylor Swift, but we see Timothée Chalamet, no one turns a blind eye to it. No one's saying anything. Oh man, I've seen way too much Timothée Chalamet. It's like whatever. It's a celebrity at a game. That's what it is.
Listen, we understand it. It's star power there. And so these two jokers, man, they at the hip with each other right now. So that's part of what this thing is going to be, right? I mean, really, I don't mind it. Shoot, I mean, Taylor's going to be brought up, because it is what it is, right? She's a huge icon in the whole world. So she's going to be brought up. But other than that, man, we talking about Travis stuff. We just talking about Travis. It ain't like talk about a new album, what she's coming out next week with, what she's doing, But
and also too, the influence of a partner. Like we're talking about guys losing weight, and she's a vegan, and we talk about certain guys who have gone plant-based diets, the TB12 diets, TG's diet. A partner who has influence on that. So,
mm-hmm.
But and I think someone said he's been.
Go ahead.
What were you gonna say? I would say somebody in the chat said that Travis has been in Florida with his trainer pretty much all throughout the offseason so far, as well. Yeah. So of course he has a trainer. Yeah, of course he's got that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's good. She's good for business,
Sasha, if you love the NFL, appreciate the money and exposure Taylor brings for the players, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And John Marshall's probably gained weight for movie roles. I love 87, but the minute he retires, I won't be looking for or caring what he does. These guys got to realize their power comes from being in the NFL. After we don't care. Oh, come on. I'm still going to hear the New Heights stuff and see what Travis is up to. Just like I care about what TG's doing.
Yeah. Listen, look, if you become a fan, I think it's part of what you do for anybody that you might have adulation for. Okay. And you've been a fan of. You still hear about it, no matter who it is, whoever, old rock stars and stuff. What are they doing, man? I seen a picture, man, with David Lee Roth and somebody else. I'm like, man, look at David Lee. Oh my gosh, right? And so, those guys, you still care. I mean, if you really care about them on the field, I think you have somewhat of an investment on how they're doing. Just because, you've been following them for some time, right? And you was a fan of them. So it was something else that you like about the guy other than just playing football.
Exactly.
Yeah. Noah John, I don't care. So Noah John, you don't care nothing about me, man? I don't play no more, brother.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Good point. Noah John, you just outed yourself, buddy. Stanley Mooney, what was Tony Romo's girl back in the day? Everyone was making a big deal of that too. That was Taylor's family, 100%. Jessica Simpson. Yeah. I think they had a reality show together, I believe.
Did they?
Well, I think she had a reality show and he was on a few episodes of the reality show. I think it was VH1 or MTV at the time.
Okay. That joke was happy to be with her, boy.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. So always smiling.
But Kelce lost some weight, and hopefully he's getting back to his old ways, and hopefully his yak can return to what we've seen in the past. But again, like we talked about on Monday, he was still top 5 in categories. We're comparing Kelce now to what Kelce was, a couple of years ago. He's still top 5 in the league, and I think a lot of these guys in the league would love to have the numbers Kelce's even displaying, even at this point in his career, which is crazy, honestly.
Yeah, we understand also too where someone that hate comes in. Somebody said that Hannah said jealous people are the ones that have problem with Taylor. Yeah, and it could be whatever affiliation you are politically, and it goes into that whole different thing. And you respect people for what they do. You know what I mean? Taylor, she ain't hurt nobody. Shoot.
Yeah, she's literally just a girlfriend who happens to be one of the most famous people in the world. But
yeah. Hey, man, shake it off. Shake it off. Shake it off. That's the thing I know.
No, John. Haha. Well, you educate me about the Chiefs. Chiefs universe still stay Chief related. Then I'm in. All right. And I think he'll still be doing that with his show, New Heights. He'll still, I mean, it's become kind of a more broad NFL show, but he does talk about Chief stuff. So I'm 100% like with TG, JD, how they always ask about Chief stuff. It's gonna be the same stuff with Kelce.
Oh yeah, but how do you not like a guy like this? Like you would just want to know what he's doing, right? Because of his character and charisma, right? I mean, you just want to be able to see it and know what he's doing, So good stuff.
For sure. And Linda, we know you're a big Kelce fan, and we love you, Linda. We love you. All right, so now we're gonna get to some. Okay. So Brother Rick's got a question. I appreciate the contribution, Brother Rick. Hey, Jason, I've been watching games on YouTube when you played. If the Chiefs had decent defense back then, you'd at least have one ring. We kind of talked about when Warfield was on the show a lot, which was kind of one of those things.
Yeah. Listen, I don't never throw my guys under the bus. I think part of it also could have been the system. I hear a lot of guys talk about that. On the G-Rob system, man, was a little bit geared more for when they went with Denver. So when he came here, we had different personnel. So guys who should talk about those things. But man, we had a chance. We had a shot, man. We was 13-3. We should have won that year. That is a fact. We let that one go. We let that one slip, man. We let that one slip. It was the game that, no punts in the game. And it boiled down to who was going to make a mistake. And we made a mistake in that game. And they capitalized on it. And they beat us. So had a first round bye. We should have won it. We was the best team in the NFL, hands down. Hands down, brother. So it's crazy. I agree with you, Brother Rick. Those guys did their best, man. It just we had good guys. We had guys out there, man, that could play good ball. But just didn't work out, man. So
we'll always have this banner though, JD. My 2003 AFC West. My 2003 AFC West banner right there, baby.
Yeah.
That was a fun one.
I always tell it, this is the reason why it's so hard to get to the Super Bowl. People this era of guys, people watching the Chiefs who are just fans, I don't think they understand the difficulty of actually making it to the Super Bowl. For the guys to make there, 5 out of the last 6 years is as exceptional. So, unprecedented, really. Shoot, nobody else has been able to do this type of things except, obviously, New England and, the things that they had during that time. Extremely difficult. So, but
the thing that's so special about this current team is like when people talk about getting the Super Bowl, right? The Super Bowl predictions every year. I remember a lot of those years, those Patriots teams, like people just didn't buy them because they didn't have a lot of like it wasn't a sexy team, right? So every year, so when the team, I remember the CBS crew, the Fox crew would always give their preseason predictions of the Super Bowl. Wasn't that many people who were picking the Patriots, and they would still get there even in the midst of the dynasty. But with the Chiefs, it's like not out of the ordinary. Like there's multiple people on every crew saying, "Oh, the Chiefs are going to be the team that goes to the Super Bowl this year. They may not win it, but they're going to get there." And it's like that's like what you said. I mean, it's insane to say how easy it is for people to just say, "Yeah, I think the Chiefs have a shot to make the Super Bowl again." It's like again. I mean, we love that obviously, but it's just crazy, and because it's like so uncommon that you see that kind of stuff.
They made it the norm. They made it the norm to get to the Super Bowl, playoffs, and all those different things. That's our standard, right? As I have up here all the time, the Chiefs standards becomes the standard. And so, it is what it is. Chiefs standard becomes the standard. That's a fact. So, just spoiled with that, man.
100%. G-Pick says it right there. I dreamed of this as a kid. Yeah.
We in a spot, G-Pick. Hey, man. We are in a great spot.
Yeah. G-Pick, we were also lucky to witness this dynasty. 100%.
Yes, sir.
All right. So we're going to get to an interesting topic here with someone we've kind of talked about. We've broached over it a little bit over the past few weeks since we drafted this guy. So recently, OG Chiefs reporter Adam Teicher, who covered you back in the days, been recovering everybody for the last, 30-something years in Kansas City. But he reported on a Kansas City radio station that the Chiefs rookie left tackle Josh Simmons is the plan A this season at left tackle. Quote, If he's okay and ready to go, he'll be the starting left tackle day one, end quote. He went on to say that the team sees Jalen Moore as plan B left tackle. Now, this is kind of shocking to hear in a way where, like, he had a really catastrophic injury. That's why he fell to us at 31. And we've been kind of saying, you know what, like, with this pick, he's a first-round guy. Let's kid gloves with it. Let's take it very slow with it. And, we signed Jalen Moore to a pretty good contract with 2 years, $60 million a year. And, like, so it's not like it was a bargain. It wasn't a 1 year, like, a deal that we could have gotten with somebody else. But nonetheless, we paid a lot for him. And to hear them say, like, they want to go into a season as Simmons being plan A and Moore being plan B, what does that kind of signal to you, JD? And also, too, like, in a follow-up to that, if they do see Simmons as plan A, is there potential that there can be the competition we would thought that was going to have, that competition is actually going to be on the right side where Jalen Moore could actually vie for a right tackle spot if Simmons is indeed healthy?
No, I think it's basically based off of evaluation of where Josh Simmons is. I mean, if he's further along than what people expected him to be, and he's relatively healthy, and I'm talking about like full go, is he plan A? Sure, why not? Why wouldn't he be? But for me, I do believe that they're still going to bring him along slowly. So you can say he's plan A. You can say that, right? If all things works out well, if he's is where he should be, or need to be ahead of it, sure, Josh Simmons, plan A. That's what else they supposed to say? They're not supposed to say, hey, man, we drafted this guy and we're going to sit him for the entire year and let him play next year. That's not what the fans want to hear. They don't want to draft a guy for a guy to just sit down. The reason they got Josh Simmons in is because he was ahead of the game. That went into the draft process, or why they wanted to draft him, because I think they seen that they got a good evaluation where his knee was in his progression. And so they're like, okay, well, shoot, this guy might have a chance to play this year and start. If that's the case, considering all things is spot A and everything is great where it should be, sure, why not say that? And, saying the guy that you're paying $60 million is plan B. My thing is they'll do a full evaluation of camp. It doesn't matter. So the conclusion is you can say he's plan A, but training camp, all those different things to make that decision. That's the way it goes. So we just know we have a contingency plan either way. It doesn't matter. So
that's a good point.
It's just talk. That's how I look at it. Just talk right now, right? So until we know for sure, how he's going to play, what he looks like, and how the healing process goes, then you make a determination.
Does that signal, like, because when he spoke a couple weeks ago at rookie minicamp, he said, I'm going to figure all this out with the athletic staff, the training staff, and whatnot. Does this maybe telling you if they are publicly, if Teicher's saying this from wherever he's hearing it from, does that maybe lend a hand that, hey, like, he actually might be able to go to like, do you think that signals maybe he might be actually ready to go more so than a lot of people thought?
I don't know.
Because a lot of the draft experts were saying that he's probably not going to be able to play this year because of the injury. And now that we're hearing a plan A aspect, and then this coming out to say this, I mean, you don't think that signals anything about his progress?
Look, man, I'll be real clear about this. Mouth says anything. And to get people off your back or quit asking these questions on, where he is health-wise, he's going to be our first option, okay? So we're always looking at his evaluation, how good he's doing in practice, how he looks in his rehab. He may come back with training camp ready to go to suit up. This is what we're going to find out. But right now, sure, he's the plan A. Yeah, if that's what y'all want to hear, yeah, he's the plan A. Jalen Moore is plan B. So if it doesn't work out, we got a $60 million kid in here that we got as a contingency plan, okay? But we brought Josh Simmons in here to play. We want him to be the starter. He's the starter, the left tackle, starter of the future. And if he's further along than what we expected, and he's making a miraculous move and recovery to where he is, sure.
I guess my thing would be, and obviously I get why we signed Jalen Moore. We didn't know Simmons was going to fall to us. I get that. Mm-hmm. I guess the contrarian point to this would be, if Simmons is plan A, right, and he is starting week one, like, and obviously if he's healthy, is a big part of the report, right? If he's healthy and ready to go, he's gonna be the guy, which great. But then it's like, okay, then Jalen Moore becomes like the most expensive backup left tackle in the league this year. I mean, that's the part that's kind of odd to me. A $60 million backup left tackle who's only been a backup his career. He's only started like a couple games here and there. I guess that becomes like, oh wow, not wasted, but we spent $16 million on a backup left tackle who may never see the.
No, you're not wasting any money. He's a good left tackle, and you had to have somebody who's capable, just in case your plan A doesn't work. The guy that you have in there he has to be just as good to play to be a starter. Like I said, Marcus, we're not getting guys in here as backups or to be second string. We went through that last year. We didn't have anybody else to do the backup. We didn't have anybody for that. So we have two capable guys at that position that are starters in the NFL. That's why we play Jalen Moore that type of money. Why? Because we believe he's a starter in the NFL. What he's shown to be in the 5 games that we've seen, he's done a fine job of being a left tackle. Okay, learn from the best left tackle in the league, and so we feel like he can hold his own. So we didn't bring him in because he's a lower tier type of. We brought him in because he's a starting left tackle in the league. That's who he is. So I wouldn't call this waste of money. I think this is an investment in the right right direction. You have to have that, because one thing you hate to see, and we saw it last year, we've seen it before, is when you have guys in here and then all of a sudden you're trying to make a contingency plan, and you're trying to put everything together. Why do that? Put the money in, because who's your greatest asset you're trying to protect?
PM15.
PM15. Pure and simple. So you better have enforcers in there. Just in case one enforcer goes down, somebody comes in, better be capable, just as good to come in and start. So it's not wasting money. They just making sure they hedging their investments. It's good. That's a good idea. Sure.
You bring up a really good point as far as like what happened last year, right? That they have a contingency plan right now to start the season out. They already had that contingency plan already kind of locked up. Instead of doing it on the fly, which is what it seemed like they did last year, kind of on the fly, and that was kind of ended up being a disaster at the end of the season.
Yeah. You're like, oh shoot, man, where we gonna go? Oh man, we can't put Wanye back in there. Wanye, was still getting himself healthy and all that. So now you got a guy that is healthy, who has started in the NFL, who is a starting left tackle in the league. Okay. Even though he's had like, a small sample size of starting in this league, he's still preparing himself like he's a starter. I guarantee I tell you this, all right? Let me just make it plain. They're not telling Jalen Moore that you're plan B. They're not telling him that. They're sitting there letting that joker know, like, hey, man, look, you're starting this league. You need to prepare like you are. And so if this guy like ready, you're the guy. Like, you need to come in like you're the guy. So we got a starting left tackle. The backup is a starting left tackle. So both those guys are starting left tackles in the NFL. So we're sewn up at that position. That's exactly what we needed to do. Jawan Taylor, sewn up right there, right tackle. If Wanye needs to go over there, we could put him over there too. Shoot, we got a swing tackle. We need to put one of those guys. We can do that too. You got to make sure that can't be your worry. We worried about that too much. That can't be the worry anymore, right? Patrick's getting older. He can't get hit. We need to protect him, bottom line. I don't care if every single joker that we got on that offensive line was a starter somewhere else. You a starter, come in and play. Because PM15, how far that he goes and you stay healthy is how far the team is going. Period. So, yeah, Justin Black will battle it out. Whoever wins, wins. Period. Point blank. So, yeah, say what you want to say. Say he's the starting at right tackle. Say he's whatever, right? He's plan A, plan B. Use your words. Like, oh, we'll use your words. Go ahead. We'll use your words. Plan A? Sure. Is Jalen Moore plan A? Yeah. I'd answer the same question. What about Jalen Moore? Is he plan A? Yes. I thought you said Josh Simmons is. Yes. Next question. I'm moving on. Like that. Shoot, for real. Come on, man. We ain't playing them games.
I guess my thing here is just kind of looking at the right. To Jalen Moore, the whole thing was right going into next year if Jawaan Taylor's gone, right? Because all intents and purposes, he's probably gone because we're not going to pay $23 million to him. The get out of his contract. Jalen Moore is going to be on the books for next year for $16 million. What if that is the jump start to kind of see what our future right tackle looks like and having Jalen Moore there, and that becomes the battle. If Josh Simmons is all and ready to go, there's a possibility that could be a thing. There is there's a competition, right? Like let the best man win, but it's actually for that right tackle spot more so than that left tackle spot. If Simmons is ready to go, you think there's a potential of that as well, or no?
I don't know, man. Shoot, I think everything's in the air right now. I think everything's a possibility. You know what I mean? They're going to try him out regardless. That's what they're going to do. You do your due diligence by making sure a guy can play both positions. And so those guys are going to get some work over right tackle as well. They are. So that can be another one of the contingency plans. Like, hey, if he's not here, then this is what we have to do. So, we just trying to let's go just to get the game won first. Okay. All that other stuff would take care of itself. Jawaan Taylor might be here. He might come play Pro Bowl, out the frame. He might be the best right tackle in the league. Too early, man. Look, the future's in their hands, brother. Too early for this. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, no, I agree. I do know the Jawaan Taylor thing is a lot of people want. I think I've seen a lot of people who are hoping that this. I said this before, and I'm gonna say this again. It doesn't matter what the people want. If Andy and those guys like him, guess what? I'm gonna love him. All right, that's the way it's gonna work. Andy, those guys is on them to get rid of a dude, and if they're gonna like it, stuff like that. Jawaan Taylor's here. I'm pushing for the Joker to be lights out the best right tackle in the league, period. Okay. He's got my support. So he's had penalties and stuff in the past. Sure. You know what? Work on the big fella. Get better. Okay. And we know he will. I'm pushing for him to make sure he's improving on that aspect. That's it. Bottom line. Care what that they could care less what I want, you want, and all the other fans and stuff. Everybody's ready to move on. That's why when everybody brings up the conversation with Sky Moore, all these different people they want to move on from. Hey, doesn't matter what you want. Y'all not making decisions. None of us are. No, makes sense.
I said, let's get through camp. Absolutely.
Let's get to OTAs.
Hey, jeez. Yeah, true.
Stanley Mooney says Simmons will play at some point. I'm sure we see him in the preseason games. That's when we will see. I'll say fourth quarter, first preseason game is first time out.
I mean, yeah.
If he's playing A, then he's going out there for a series.
We'll see.
No, John Marshall, this is hard to believe because they did this last year with Kingsley and his psyche was shot. What if Simmons falters at first? They bench him or he rides out the storm? I'd rather start Moore.
Two different animals.
Yeah. There's a reason why Simmons was the some say a top tackle in the class, and Kingsley was more of a project, big time. Yeah. But
yeah, I agree with you. If he's not looking that good, we got starters. We got starters, no question. That is covered. That's one thing we wanted to cover. We wanted to cover the tackles and the protection. We got it. We want it.
Yeah.
Who's going to start? Who's going to be here? Hey, man, look, y'all going to be at practice. You're going to be watching. Y'all going to find out day one who it's going to be.
This is Teicher's fault. This is Adam Teicher's fault. He was supposed to retire, and now he's still giving us nuggets.
Throwing the meat out here. Okay. All right, Adam. Got you. Thank you.
We got some questions and comments from people. We got some contributions. We got to give you guys the ding, ding, ding. We haven't done the ding, ding, ding yet.
Yes,
so we got a super chat from our guy, Jason Tarbox, who had a question in another comment. We appreciate that, buddy. Get the bell.
Yes, sir. And we got, what's the name of two? Did we have a bell for
he got two bells. He already asked. He gave us one earlier, and he gave us another question here. Our guy, Brother Rick, who asked us this earlier. Brother Rick, you get two bells for your two comments, my man. Appreciate the contribution, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. There you go.
So what did Jason say, man?
So Jason asked, so he had the super chat, and he followed up with Jason, as one of the best blockers at tight end, do you see any of these tight ends we have being anywhere close to what you and Tony did so well?
I think these guys are capable blockers. What I did, what I created my value, my niche was I was an inline blocker. So it was a different thing. Mine was to fold up defensive end or linebackers. That was my job on the line of scrimmage. And so I knew I was going to score with my man. I put my hands in these meat hooks on suckers, and that was over. That was it. And you knew I had you locked down. That was what was supposed to be the deal with us. So they run a different style of offense than what we did back in our day. But they do the two tight end sets. Yeah. So everybody's saying no, hell no. John might say hell no. Yeah, they're not doing what I did, man. I played at 270. Okay. And so my job was this. Jason, you said a joker in front of you, bury a joker in the dirt. Okay. Open up the lanes. Not only that, but also too, man, I was an effective pass blocker. I was just like a tackle. That's what used to call me. So I used to go down. So sometimes tight ends will go to the wide receivers and catch balls and stuff like that. So I would do that, but also too, half that, I would move down to where the tackles and pass rush was. So I go down and work out with the tackles and guards and centers and block Jared Allen, Tamba, and all those guys. That's what I was doing part of my time. It was kind of crazy because we had Matt Zoe was the offensive line coach at the time. I went down there and I was pass blocking. I think it was Jared Allen. Me and Jared was going at it. And I flashed my hands and Matt Zoe was like, oh my gosh. I was like, what? He said, I've never seen a tight end do it. Flash his hands like a tackle. You know what I'm saying? Like to get him. I'm like, yeah, I would shoot. But I learned from like the best. I had some great tight end coaches and O-line coaches, man. Bill Callahan, who was the head coach with the Raiders, he was my offensive line coach in Philadelphia. Obviously, Juan Castillo, another one, who was offensive line coach with the Philadelphia Eagles. Then he was the defensive coordinator. Then he went with Harbaugh down to the Ravens. Ted Williams was my tight end coach, another one. Shout out to all those guys. And not to mention getting into Mike Solari, Matt Sko, Keith, Rowan, those guys that helped me out. So, and I had a whole different thing, man, as far as the things that I was doing. And I had Herm. Herm asked me one day, we was all getting our, real quick, we was all getting our haircuts, and Herm said, JD, you know the way Herm talked, hey, JD, he said, anybody ever approach you to play tackle, huh? I said, Herm, man, if I ever thought anybody was serious about that, I said, I would entertain it. I would. He said, yeah, man, I think, should maybe thinking about it. So that was the thing. Talked about it, but never came to fruition as far as like how those things happen. But
interesting. Huh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jason Tarbox, you were the greatest. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I took a lot of pride in it, man, and it was always good to hear defensive coordinators and whatnot that appreciated what I did too. That was what sealed it for me a lot, was just that confirmation, not just from what my teammates and my coaches appreciated about me and my players, but also too the opposite end of it. The guys I went against, the other tight ends on the other side, the defensive coordinator, the defensive line coaches would come to me after that, man. So I took a lot of pride in it. I did. So I thank you for saying that, man, because I always wanted to try to be the greatest. So
everyone, everyone always talk to people who know football, people who watch the Chiefs. Everyone knows what you meant to the team, JD, and what you meant to the NFL as far as being kind of one of a kind. And we haven't seen many like you since you left the game, buddy. I mean, you're just one of a kind, man.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, brother. I know some guys put their work in and effort, and it kind of goes to the question Justin Blackwell had said, did Tony practice catches all game, every game, or is that just the one game I ever got to go to? Tony practiced catches in every game, every practice, in between teams. He would catch the ball everywhere. That's why that joker has such great hands and control and could just see that ball and catch the ball like no other. Like, seriously, I think Tony's probably the most gifted tight end I've seen catch the football. And that wasn't a natural thing. He worked at it hard over and over again, hours and hours. That's what he did, to get that good. So, when you talking about you needed something at the end, the guy that you go to, Mr. Reliable, TG was that guy. There was no question about it. Why? We seen it every single day at practice. He showed you what he did. So,
and part of the reason why it didn't matter, he was quarterback proof. It didn't matter who was his quarterback. He was going to eat.
Yeah.
JD, were you there when Hard Knocks was in Kansas City? Yep. Yeah, the impressive back and forth to the Herm.
Alder Brown is being funny. He knows that. Alder Brown, I was.
Tony still practices catches on TNF with Fitzpatrick.
Oh, that does yeah.
All right, well, you guys have some more questions. We'll get to you guys before we end the show. We have our final topic here. Then we'll get back to your questions. We have seven still in the Rolodex here. So, final topic here, JD. We talked about this before.
Hold on.
What's that?
G picks at Hard Knocks. Bernard Pollard popping in the locker room.
That's how we do it in Fort Wayne.
Oh yeah, you might have pulled that up somewhere, man. The people haven't seen it. But go ahead. This last second. Oh,
kind of going to that because I believe this guy was on the team. Was Tamba on the team for that? Was that one of his first years?
Yeah, I think
he was on that squad.
Yeah.
Okay. So quick take here today. Tamba Hali posted early morning around 7 a.m. Video of him working out with George Karlaftis in the dojo. Where I don't know. I think it might be a karate thing. Do they call that the same like Taekwondo? Is that not Taekwondo? What is he? Muay Thai? What is?
No. Dojo is in martial arts.
It's martial arts in general.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dojo. Mm-hmm.
So he was in the dojo with George Karlaftis. And
dojo,
again,
ring and all that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So again, pretty much doing what he's last few years working with Tamba. Two things there. Obviously, it's great to see George doing the extra work, but seeing a legend like we talk about you coming on here when you do talk to young bucks, you are giving them bestowing their wisdom, your wisdom that you have to them. Tamba as well as doing that with the guys who he lives in Kansas City, so he's able to do that with these guys like George Karlaftis. So hopefully our guy Gelati goes there at some point, and I'm sure George will bring him along to a dojo event with them. But just seeing Tamba continue, a friend of the show, continue to bestow his wisdom, JD, just kind of one of those guys, like, is just always going to give back to Kansas City. And it's great to see the young bucks embracing that with Tamba. So here's the clip, and I have some other footage of Tamba with George here.
Here with Dave and George.
So that was pretty much it. That was his clip, just showing that they worked out together this morning. But this is, I think, from like last year. From January. This is a clip of them working out together. But JD, just overall thoughts on Tamba, kind of giving back to the young bucks.
Man, that's everything. When you have a guy like this of that prestige and the type of legacy and what type of player he was, to work out with these guys, man, they have to pay homage to who this guy is. I mean, this is huge. This is huge, man. My brother Tamba right here, man, is as good as a guy you're gonna get, for one. And this is him doing this all himself. Coming up to guys, say, hey man, like this is what you have to work out on. And he was another one of those guys who was a hard worker all the time. You could tell Tamba to slow down and practice it. It was no slow down for him. He did everything full speed. That's how he played. And so right here, he's teaching everybody leverage, how to get your arms, hands, movement, push and pull, tug. Like, somebody was saying jujitsu, this is what this is. So you can just get, on, the upper hand on him. But Tamba, man, he's an icon in this thing, man. He's a huge deal. And I love that he's working with George. All those defensive ends should be in that joker right now. Seriously. And so what you said that what's the name works out with him as well, FAU.
Yeah, FAU has worked out with him before, yep. Mm-hmm.
So, man, Tamba, man, it's good to see that, man. He's a dangerous man. I love it. But this is good stuff right here. This is good stuff.
And talk about the Karlaftis thing as well. It also shows his dedication to his craft, right? He's got OTAs going on, but on top of OTAs, he's waking up at the crack of dawn and hanging out with Tamba and working out, like, on top of OTAs and doing the other stuff he's doing. He's also doing this too, adding this to his regimen too. It also tells you the kind of guy and work ethic that Karlaftis has as well.
Yeah, definitely. This is somebody who's thirsty for knowledge. And when you have a resource like this, man, you got to tap into it. I mean, if you're anybody who's serious about getting better, and you have a guy like Tamba Hali who's willing to work with you, you take every opportunity and advantage of that as you can. You know what I mean? And somebody was sitting there saying, like, they should put Tom on the salary and have all defensive ends go there. We used to have a martial arts guy that would come in and we would work with all off season. They would come up there and defensive ends and stuff like that would work with him. So I think Tom, kind of adopted this part and was like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. What else is guys going to do with that type of knowledge, man? You going to keep it to yourself? That's how I feel about it. I mean, as going to the coaching world, or maybe going and giving some notes and some practices, you extend that knowledge. Somebody said passing the torch. Yes, your job and duty is to make sure the younger guys, get involved with this. So they can become as good as they can possibly be. We've had our time. We have had our time. Now those guys are on true display. So this man, that's why Tamba, because of who he is, speaks volumes into why this happens, really. Because he don't have to do it. He doesn't. I don't think he's on any type of payroll, any of those things, man. He's there to help guys. And that's how big Tamba's heart is, man. He's a real person, real dude all the way through. I love that Joker, man. It's good people. It's good people. So, I'm always like just smile every time I see Tamba, man. It's my brother right there. It's good people.
He's a good dude. Friend of the show as well.
Yes,
I've seen him also giving back at Penn State as well. Yeah, obviously he went to Penn State, and I've seen videos of him going back there and kind of running through some stuff that he's bestowing his wisdom on those young bucks as well. So that's just the Tom is the kind of the giving guy, giving his knowledge to the next generation.
Yeah, for sure. That's important, man. It's good because he's doing things that a lot of coaches cannot do, or may not have the thing to do. Like, he's actually physically shown them how to get better and doing those things, right? From a guy who's done it before, who's actually played the position. And that's those things like that, man. That's, man, you talking about a gold mine. That's it right there. Shoot. I seen somebody else working out the other day, man, Vonnie Holiday. Me and Vonnie play together. He's helping guys, kind of, get right defensive end and stuff.
That's awesome. I love Vonnie.
Yeah.
Like you said, Tamba is different and unique in the fact that he does a lot of things, defensive line coaches don't teach this stuff, don't know this stuff. He's got expertise on top of expertise, right? Expert pass rusher. On top of that, also judo, jiu-jitsu, all this other stuff that you can apply to the game that a lot of these coaches can't teach, be it the college level or the NFL level. So he does bring in an extra it's like having someone with a PhD or doctor coming into your classroom to teach stuff that your professor can't teach. He knows this stuff.
He knows it. He's been in the surgery room, right? He's been there. He's did the work. He's got his hands dirty. Literally got his hands dirty. Okay, and so sometimes you may have coaches who hadn't necessarily done it. They're trying to teach on the board. They're trying to give you technique, but a guy that's actually been there. Is absolutely valuable to do it, really. And at a high level. That's another thing though, too. So, and he'll talk them through it. How do you feel about this? Or what do you think about that? You can see, Karlaftis kind of, pondering questions. How did this look? What's the speed of it? And I'm sure they probably call him after the game is over, get critique. What do you think about this? How'd it look? So.
And I'll never forget, we played the Chargers one of his last years. It was, the guys shaking hands after the game. But I remember him and Joey Bosa. Bosa must have come in to ask him a question, or I don't know how it went down. Either Bosa asked him a question about fundamentals or something, or Thomas saw something in his fundamentals and he was correcting him on or something. After the game, right? Division rival, game over. But that's the kind of guy he is. He's giving pointers to the a younger guy on another team because Tamba knew he had maybe 1 year left. I think at that point maybe. But I thought that always sticks out in my memory as one of the things that towards the end of Tamba's career, helping out a dude on the other team after a game.
Yeah. That's the type of person he is, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't always just about competition and just being above somebody. It's like, hey, I'm here to help you out. So, yeah, man, that's character means a lot, and he explains character the way it should be displayed. That's who Tamba is. So,
yeah, no, Tamba, love Tamba, and I think Bill Belichick I also said there was one guy he wished he could have coached. It was Tamba Hali. I remember it was before one of the games we played against him. One of the last few years he was there. I remember Bill Belichick said that it was one of the few guys he wanted to coach was Tamba Hali. That was a guy that he said it was in a run up it was a run up to a Chiefs game when he was talking about the guys on our team. And he said Tamba Hali was one of those guys that always stood out to him on film that he would have loved to have coached.
that is an appreciation from the highest order.
Big time.
Heck yeah. I mean, daggone it. I mean, you're talking about the type of defensive ends that he coached and he's seen and he's been around.
Yeah.
Saying Tamba, because he knows what he's going to get out of Tamba. He knows that. So he'd just be enjoyed to coach a guy like this.
Yeah.
I think anybody would.
For sure. And I'm glad he spent all of his career in Kansas City. Never had to go play for the Patriots.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we're going to get to your guys' questions here. You guys got a lot of questions today and comments that we have highlighted, so we're going to get to them.
Okay.
All right, so going back to the beginning of the show, our guy Zulu, question. I wish someone would tell me what happened to Drew Tranquil last year, and will he recover?
Meaning, like as far as like his productivity and his play?
Yeah, he's talking about his play, not no injury.
I don't think anything per se happened to Drew. Maybe some of the things that we knew might have not necessarily been Drew's strength kind of showed up. But Drew's a very effective linebacker. He's starting linebacker in the league, man. He's a hell of a player. I think that's something he's going to work on to make sure that he doesn't have any type of lulls in anything that he does, physically and mentally. But I think Drew's a good player. I think he's going to be fine. He'll recover. If you say recover, he maybe people wanted more, but I think he's a starting linebacker for us, man. He's a starter for us, and he's a good starter, so he'll be fine. Thanks, Zulu.
Zulu also had a follow-up question of that. Is Bossa too small to handle the run in the NFL?
No, I don't think he is. He'll have to get a little bit craftier. He'll have to do a much better job of making linemen miss and get their hands on him. He can't engage with those guys. He'll beat them in space, but he's got to get physical and play with his hands. And he'll learn a lot from a smaller stature linebacker like a Nick Bolton, right? He'll learn a lot. And we'll just have to see. He won't get, he just can't allow to get swallowed up. So he's got to be able to set up guards, tackles, beat them to the punch, beat them to the point of where he wants to get to win those battles. But if he sits back on, at linebacker depth and let the guys come to him, I don't care how big of a linebacker you are. That's going to be a problem for anybody. So, yeah, he'll be able to do it, Zulu. I think he will.
Yeah, Bossa definitely has long-term linebacker NFL potential. Most visits of any player in the draft of top 30 visits was Jeffrey Bossa, which tells you NFL teams that thought about him. Question here. So G-Pick. Question, have you all heard anything about the Chiefs having interest in Brandon Scherf? No. So what you're referring to is, which a lot of people, aggregators will take, is like, Chiefs interested in this guy. No, there was an article from Mo Moten on Bleacher Report saying the Chiefs should kick the tires on Brandon Scherf. Now the Chiefs are interested in Brandon Scherf, saying the Chiefs should be interested in Brandon Scherf. But no, it was nothing as far as a rumor of us being interested. It was more about the Chiefs should be kicking the tires on Brandon Scherf. So no, the Chiefs are not interested in Brandon Scherf. It's more speculative that the Chiefs should kick the tires on him. So that's where that report comes from, G-Pick.
Yeah, I'm looking up it right now because I didn't know who Brandon Scherf was, but it said Chiefs could sign former Commanders offensive lineman. So
yeah, it's one of those, like, Should an NFL team pick? It was Bleacher Report, JD. So Bleacher Report asked people to should the Chiefs do this and like talk about that kind of thing. So it was one of those should the Chiefs do this, sign a guy, and like this is a guy the Chiefs should kick the tires on before training camp. So that's kind of what it is. So no actual rumor on the Chiefs being interested in him, more speculative.
Okay.
Brother Rick, appreciate the contribution again, my man. Here's another one. So Brashard Smith appears to be KC's James Cook. JD, we talked about him last week when you weren't here. There was Louis Riddick pretty much said that keep an eye on Brashard Smith, that he does kind of he gives him Alvin Kamara vibes within the Chiefs offense, which is high praise coming from Louis Riddick, a guy who knows the team and the scouting department, Andy Reid and Brett Veach so well. But he said keep an eye on Brashard Smith to be the Chiefs' Alvin Kamara. He said Alvin Kamara with 4.3 speed is what he said. Do you think that he could be the Chiefs' Alvin Kamara or the Chiefs' James Cook, as Brother Rick says?
Hey, hey, if he's anywhere near Alvin Kamara talent, we'll take it. Anywhere. If he snips anywhere near that type, absolutely. And I think what he's just saying is he's a double threat, right? Receiving and running the football because he has speed. He makes guys miss. But being out there, Alvin Kamara, I think that's what he makes his bread and butter because he's so effective in both parts of the game. So, like I said before, if he shows to be that good, as talented as Alvin Kamara, man, we'll take it. Shoot, that's how I say. I mean, seriously, Brashard Smith, we know, has a lot of speed. Still has a little bit of a little wet behind the ears, I guess, in the backfield somewhere. He's still learning. But he'll get there. He'll get there. We know he's very talented. We know that. We know he's very talented. He can thrive in our offense. That's why we brought him here. We brought a guy like this here because we know he can do all those things, right? We look for CH to be kind of that guy. We did. Didn't happen. Guess what? Now, here we are, okay? So Brashard Smith, man, having the opportunity to show what he can do, I'm all for it, man. Give him every chance to see that. I would, so.
The Brashard Smith era is here. Rick Hendrickson, yes, you were one of the first ones. You actually think you told us to do a review on him, and then we did a little bit digging on him. Like, you know what? I like him. So Rick, good stuff. JD, you said the wet behind the ears thing, and this is something that a commenter had a problem with me and Tasia last week, saying that we have no idea what we're talking about. That he's been a running back before, so like he's not new to the position. Can you talk about it? There's a difference between youth league, high school playing running back, and then only playing college running back 1 year versus, because that's high school and youth leagues are very, very different than playing full 4 years of running back in college. You learn a lot, but you miss out on a lot of stuff that you can learn from playing position and playing at a high level. He did it 1 year and was great at it, but he still missed out on 3 years of being a running back in college.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's what he learned from high school. He learned a little bit of vision. He learned a little bit of making guys miss. Guess what? I was a running back in small fry. Okay, I like to think that I can still make guys miss in the open field and stuff like that. You still feel like you have it, but it is a difference, Marcus. No question about it. It is a difference. Angles are different. The guys are faster. Guys are bigger, closing in. Matter of fact, I was telling my cousin that was here, D'Antonio. He's a running back at VSU, right? And I told him, he showed me his film, and I said, man, you have what everybody covets. You got speed. You got incredible speed. You hit the holes hard. I said, but what you make your bread and butter in is that secondary making guys miss. Go hit your head on the goalpost. I said, there's the difference. That's when you take your game up to a whole different level. It's one thing to have speed, but what's lateral speed look like? Okay? What is stop and start, staying low to make guys miss? That's a whole different level. And some of those things that you did in high school you could get away with, NFL doesn't work. What you did at SMU ain't gonna work in the NFL. So that's why when we hear about Genty and he's out there and they talking about changing up his stance because he's standing tall, right? Like Chip Kelly, I heard him saying Chip Kelly would try to get him to change a little bit. He said that's why you get low, because you got to be ready. So whatever you did at your old spot, Sure, keep some of that going, but there's some things you need to learn and understand. Because when these suckers come, they are coming, and they are coming fast, and they're going to be there before you even know it. I watched this today, man. I hope Bo Jackson was talking to, did you see that? When he was speaking to Marshawn Lynch and somebody else. And they asked Bo, did you ever get your bell rung? He said, yes. He said, I don't know who the linebacker was who playing with the Rams. He said, usually they ran a front side trap. He said, I usually cut back. He said, so I'm thinking in my mind when I get the ball, we're on the 5-yard line. I'm going 95 yards, right? This is Bo Jackson thing, right? This is who he was. He said, but he went to the hole, cut back, and he didn't see the linebacker. And he said this linebacker was so big that this joker had muscles on his breath. I never heard it. Muscles on his breath. He said he hit Bo. Bo said he hit him so hard that he hit Bo at the 6-yard line. They didn't get finished till on the 2. The dude drove Bo back 4 yards. And then dude helped him up. It's like, come on, Bo, we got to give him a show, this and that. Bo said, man, the next play, the coach called it, maybe, next series. He said he didn't cut back. He stayed front side. He said, I'm not doing that anymore. So it's a whole different level, man. It's a whole different level. Like I told you before, William Fuller, as somebody said, talking about hair on the arms off season, hair on the shoulders. These are grown men, dude. This ain't no playtime. Ain't what that is no more. It's not. It's grown men stuff out here, baby.
Thank you for saying that, JD. Casey Boss Savage, who was mad at me and Taja's saying that, he's still new to the position. That's JD saying that. So there you go.
Yeah, I ain't taking nothing away from him, but
no, for sure.
He got to get, yeah.
And as far as playing collegiately and professionally, he's still new to the position. High school and youth league, that's great. But in college, he did 1 year of it.
I was a running back at small fry.
All right. And also, our guy, Justin Blackwell, brings up a good point. Blackwell says he wouldn't have learned receiver. He'd be a single threat had he not done receiver before running back. So, yeah, I mean, he's very different. He brings a different skill set that we don't have in that room. So, yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's a killer right there, man. It's hard. Versatility.
Sure. Yeah. Peace Swizzle. Who do you guys think is going to start at left guard?
King Suma. Peace is right there, King Suma.
There you go.
So
King Suma. Mm-hmm. So Caliendo, back up.
Yeah. Vegas Chief Kennedy said, I can't imagine JD ever being a small fry. So everybody says that, right? I'm telling you right now, my freshman year in high school, I was the shortest kid in my class. The shortest kid.
But how tall was you being short? Like, what was your shortest kid in the class? How tall were you?
Oh,
you don't remember?
Man, I'm the shortest kid in my freshman class. I don't know.
I just can't imagine that. I just want to know.
I know it. Hold on. I'm gonna send you a picture. Can you show this? I don't know if I wanted to do this or not, but I'm gonna show y'all this. Okay. All right. Y'all only y'all getting this little bit right here. Okay, because y'all family. All right. And I love you. I'm gonna send this picture to you. So this is me in high school. This is my junior year. I want y'all to check me out. Okay.
Growth spurt yet or no?
Huh? This is when I was just growing. I finished high school.
You got the magic Converses on.
Ah, you got it. Show it to everybody. No, I didn't baby pick.
Here, let me pull it up. Oh, this is a beaut. I love this.
Yes, sir.
All right, pulling this up.
This is your boy JD, junior year of high school. Wait till y'all see this. Oh, man. Yeah, can you enlarge it? Yeah. So that was me.
Yeah,
I was thin. I was lean. I was wiry. You know what I mean? I was strong still, but man, I was probably right there. I was like junior year, so 16 years old. I was probably 6'3". Ah, man, 185.
Were you a 2 or a 3? Shooting guard or small forward?
Oh, no. So being at a smaller school, man, I was 4 and 5. They had to.
Wow.
We
Okay.
didn't have jokers that were 6'7", 6'8". You know what I'm saying? We didn't. I went against a dude my senior year, Brian Milburn, 6'11". You know, my nephew tell you this, man. I took his sucker baseline and dunked all over that joker. I'm telling you right here, this is my junior year, my sophomore year. Yo, that's when everything changed for me. I started hitting the growth spurt. I grew. Okay, I'm gonna tell you how this was. So Marcus, I grew 4 inches in one summer. The very next summer, I grew another 4 inches. So we're 8 inches in high school. So that should tell you, you know what I mean, where I was.
I think Chuck said he didn't see you for like a year. He said the next time he saw you, you were like you were just a giant.
Yeah, he's just like, man. He's like, I come out and I'm long, and look, I'm long right there, baby. Yes, sir. That's still a large fry. I was probably, like I said, about 6'1", maybe at that. 6'2", with the Magic Johnson Converse. Yes, sir. I was gonna see them. The Converse on. That's for sure. Kiss my Converse.
That's amazing.
No. When Rick says 6'3" as a freshman, no, Rick. So I grew two growth spurts, 4 inches, 4 inches, so 8 inches. So what is that? 8 inches from there. Well, I was 6'3". So what is that? I was like, what's that? 5'6". That's what I was.
So you're 5'6" freshman year?
Yeah, 5'6", 5'5".
I was 5'6" freshman year. I've only grown 2 inches since.
We were the same height, Marcus. We were the same height the freshman year.
That's hilarious.
That's how it was. I sprouted up. Yes, sir, I did. It's a good old farm work out there, man. I grew up on a farm, man. I used to tell people all the time, JD, what'd you do? I said, I used to eat my vegetables and drink goat milk.
That's fantastic.
Yes, sir. Good stuff right there. Good stuff.
I love that.
Yeah. What was your vertical? You pick said. Oh, vertical. Yo. I could. That's one thing I could do, man. I could jump out the gym.
When could you first dunk?
Sophomore year. That came from football practice my sophomore year. And I remember looking up at the rim. And I'm sitting there thinking, I could get this. And sure enough, man, I jumped up there, grabbed the rim. I said, it's over. It is over. Marcus said the whole season, man, I was trying to dunk on everybody. I'm trying to tell you, man. That's all I needed, just a little bit, baby, just a little bit. Think of it, just a little bit. Okay, y'all done messed up. Y'all let me go grab the rim. It is over. It is over.
That's amazing. So you were about 5'10"? So you grew 4 inches, so you were about 5'10" when you first dunked?
Yeah, about 5'10". Yeah. Sausage are not like building that upper body by dropping tobacco sticks. That's a fact. It's a fact. I used to be on a Sasha, I'll tell you this. I used to be on a wagon, okay, on our farm. And after I come from the pool, I'll get out there and I still had to finish up some of the work. I'll be on the back of the wagon baling hay myself. I bailed the whole wagon up. That's some hard work right there, baby. It's a hard work. I tell you this. I know we family, but I always thought myself as being like, you remember like Arnold Schwarzenegger when he was Conan, and he was the last kid pushing the thing. That's how I felt. That's what I felt I was.
That's
yes,
funny.
Yes, sir.
That's amazing. So did you guys ever play 2-on-2 ball? I mean, with your skills and TG's skills, obviously we know what TG did in college in basketball. Did you guys ever have 2-on-2 tournaments within the team? Were you and TG ever paired together? That'd be cheap.
No, we didn't really play anything. You know, we might play the fellows. We had a basketball court at the spot. I remember I told you we played at the boys club. I told you the one kid, man, came, tried to go baseline on one of us and dunk. And me and TG just looked at each other like, okay, there it is. And now we, you know what I mean? You done opened up.
Tighten up the shoes.
That's right, yeah. Start stretching for real, like, okay. Boy, one of the balls came off, man. I grabbed it. Yeah, I try to tear the rim down. Same thing with TG, man. After a while, you start seeing little kids like, getting out of the way. TG coming down the lane. Oh, my God.
That's hilarious.
Funny.
All right, we got a few more questions here.
My army buddy from South Carolina used to be, hey, try to wrestle him, and he folded him up like a pretzel. Yes, sir. I'm the Brown, man. I'm telling you, you tossing, you get your back muscles, your traps, your biceps, everything, man. Belling, hey, no fact, hey, everything, legs, clinging, all of that. That's
what
right.
I mean by country strong. That's what they mean.
Country strong. Yes, sir. Country strong, baby. That's your workout. That's a fact, sir. For sure.
So Joey's got a question here on left tackle. If Simmons was not ready to play, who backs up more?
I mean, you could still have, Wanye or King Suma. Yeah. Either two of those guys could probably go play that. So that would be your contingency plan on the contingency plan. So both those guys have played it before. Wanye did a good job, I think. So I want to see how he looks during our season. I hope he's gotten in some good work, man. I need to check him out, see if he has some things.
Wanye?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So in addition to this is first. Seeing Ali just brought up the thought of having JD bang the drum this year against the Eagles. Respect from both teams, but JD, get ready for that call. Speak it to existence. We'd love that. That'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
Really cool.
Awesome. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Would you wear the 80? Would you wear like the 89 or Chiefs gear? Or would you wear like a half like Chiefs, like half Eagles? Nah,
come on, man. Can't do it. Can't do it. Never. Can't do that.
Which he also says, in addition to banging the drum, I want to speak it into existence. Jason Dunn going to the tight end university and speaking to the current young tight ends there in Nashville, which I think is happening like next week. I think maybe.
Is it?
Actually, my next week or might be this week, and I don't know. I saw Greg Olson was on a radio show talking about it earlier today.
Oh, yeah. I would, man. Oh, shoot, I love to go down there. That's a fact. Love to go down there to go help those dudes out. Yeah, it'd be an honor. Mm-hmm.
All right, and then final question here, JD. Who were the starting quarterbacks when you were in Philly and Kansas City?
Starting quarterbacks in Philly, I had Todd Detmer, I had Rodney Peete, and then I had Bobby Hoying. So all three of those guys started at some point, but my first starting quarterback was Todd Detmer, Heisman Trophy winner, hell of a guy, good, all those good dudes, great guys. And then Coy, his brother, came on to the Eagles at the time, and so before I left out, I had Donovan McNabb and Doug Peterson, Dougie P. Those are my guys. Then I got to Kansas City. Obviously, I had Elvis Garback, and then I had Trent Green. And of course, Brody Crowell came in. Damian Heward had played. He started some games. So those were my guy. Todd Collins. How can I forget Todd Collins, man? So those were the guys. We brought in, man, Bubby Brister? I think Bubby came out for a little bit, man. I think Bubby came, he was there doing.
Was it Bubby or Jonathan Quinn?
Oh, Jonathan Quinn, too. Quinn was out there. Quinn was
so we had both former Broncos guys, Quinn and Bubby Brister?
Yeah, go to see a Bubby. I think Bubby was because Bubby he was a riot.
Bubby Brister, 01, yeah. 01, and I believe he was cut during off-season or practice squad only.
Okay. He was a fun guy right there. Yeah. Like one of those just wild guys, I always had that look about him. Yeah, he was, yeah. Uh-huh.
And Charlie Quinn had multiple stints, 02 to 03, 05, and then he signed with the Kansas City Brigade in 06. So he stayed in Kansas City after that.
Jay Quinn, man, good people right there, brother. Solid as you could get. All them guys were, to be honest with you.
You also you had Warren Moon too, didn't you?
Mooney. Oh, come on, Warren Moon. Come on, how can I forget Mooney? Yeah.
Figs as well.
Who? Figs. Of course, Figs was there. Yeah. So Warren Moon, Thick Pen, you started to have me name all the ones that was on, on the roster,
Right.
Casey Printers. We could go through, a lot of different guys.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man. Yeah.
That's sweet.
Mooney. That's my guy. Oh, JD. Mooney got me out of trouble one day. He helped me out to not get a fine.
Whoa, what was the story behind that? Can you tell it?
I can. I can. We had curfew, and I got to curfew late. And
JD late? No.
Can you believe it? You know, I don't know what it was. Maybe I was like 10 minutes late, something like just sliding in. They was all moving around. I was actually the first guy. I had the first room, so I knew I was going to be the first one checked, or at least they would do it this way. Like, okay, we let JD and all those people come in, so they would start up top and then come back down. That's how they did it. And I came in late. We were all out, all the guys, and of course, dudes running late from the bar, night out on the town, getting back, and shoot, I forgot what it was, man. We didn't get our ride. We lost our ride. The dudes already had split. And so we had to run from like downtown to the dorm room, which really ain't that far. It's not. But we all checking our clock like, we're on a little pace, like, dang, God, man, we're going to get back. I don't know who else was with me. It's like, dang, God, man. And so, how did Mooney say it? So Mooney said, so Gunn is, he's pissed off, okay? And he's pissed off because of another incident. I cannot tell. I'm not going to tell that one, okay? I can't tell what happened. Woo! But everybody caught that fire. Let me put it that way, okay? He was pissed about that whole incident, and it all went down. And then everybody else, like, who just had, like, oh, yeah, these guys came in, Dunn was like, I'm hitting all these jokers, all of them. And so he was up there, and Dunn was just going through it. He's giving it to all of us, the whole team. And y'all guys, and this and that, and, yeah, JD come in late, you and such. And Mooney, who sat right there in the front, right there in front of the coach, and he's just sitting back. And in his voice, and I'm going to talk like one, he said, hey, Gunn. He's like, yeah, Warren. He said, but JD was actually in the building when they came in. So he wasn't technically late because they hadn't really checked. He said he was in the building. They just didn't, they didn't get to get him when he came down. They just knew he wasn't in the building at the time. But when they checked the room, he was in there. So he just like looks at Mooney. He's like, all right, I guess so. He was technical. JD, you better thank Warren Moon for that one. I said, Mooney, I appreciate it. Yeah, JD, no, that's right, man. He wasn't, he was in there. He was in there. So that was the thing. Yeah. So when they all came in, we was coming in late, but I went in the building at 11, but I was in my room when the guys came down.
Right.
That was so
technicality, and Moon had your back with technicality.
Yeah. Moon wasn't playing with technicalities, man. He's a quarterback, right?
That's great.
He couldn't let that happen. We were veterans and stuff like that, but yeah, Gunn was on one that night. And like I said, everybody caught that fire. Everybody. Because of the one incident, and then it just, I'm getting everybody. So he cussed out the entire team, man. But yeah, I just remember awesome. Mooney just sitting up here cool as a fan. Cool like the other side of the pillow, man. Didn't really say a whole lot. Just chill back and just sat there.
And of course, it's Warren Moon, too. So, like, Gunther wasn't going to go nuts. I mean, like, Warren Moon has your back. Okay.
You're good. Yeah.
Done.
Moon coming your skin, JD. Yes, sir. He was. Yeah. But Gunn loved me, man. I love Gunn. It's my guy, man. Rest in peace, it's my dude, man. Daggone. He's the one that brought me to Kansas City. As much as I wanted to play with Marty, and me and Marty almost tried to get here. Didn't quite happen. Was supposed to get drafted. And then when I left from Philly, go out there, I think Marty was still there. But then my knee swelled up and I couldn't play. That's when I sat out 99 because there was no way I couldn't do it. So yeah, that was the deal.
That's great. I love the story time. One of the best part about these shows is these stories, man. Guys that we grew up watching Warren Moon, having your back. I love that.
Solid cat, man.
That's great. And
Yeah,
Warren Moon gave up number 1 to the Cam Moore, allow him to wear number 1.
I seen that, man. I thought that was incredible. I was like, I wonder if Cam really knows who Warren is. He should. If he didn't, he better.
Yeah,
that's one of the greatest.
Hit the film room, kid.
Absolutely, yeah. But that's the greatest. You want to talk to anybody about, that's where, Warren is as far as the Pro Bowl, man. That's why he's a Hall of Famer.
Oh yeah, and talk about breaking barriers. I mean, he's one of the guys that paved the way for what football is today.
Absolutely. So beat those whatever stereotypes of silliness. So yeah,
exactly.
Boom, my guy, my brother.
And a long list of resume items for Warren Moon, also saving your butt against Gunther Cunningham. So also adds to his resume.
Yeah.
But all right, guys. Well, that does it for us on this Wednesday evening. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We try to cover a lot of bases of the offseason as well as, of course, beautiful story time with JD, as always. But we hope you guys enjoyed the show. And, yeah, we'll be back here on Monday, of course, breaking down another position group. If you guys have any position groups you guys want us to tackle next, we've already done receivers and we've done tight ends. If there's another position group you guys want us to tackle next, let us know. Just comment in the videos. And if the one I see most, we'll cover on Monday. But yeah, just let us know. JD, send us out, baby.
Yeah, I was just checking out, for all their the scheduling and stuff like that, man. I'm gonna try to push on to get one of the coaches on the coaching staff in here. So let's hope that works. I know they got to be done with OTAs and all those different things, trying to get them in between that. But listen, hey man, I appreciate it, man. Look, I got tons of stories, tons of them. So I love doing that, talking those things, man. There's some good stuff, man, to actually have a conversation about. But listen, thank each and every one of you for coming out. Appreciate each and every one of you guys giving your time in to come here and speak to us. Y'all time is as valuable as ours, and we don't want to disregard that, man. Y'all very important to you, man. We love you guys. Appreciate it so much. So Richie Hall, Sarah 071, Deshaun Hammonds, Linda Hunter, Andre Chenault, Rick Hendrickson, Chiefs fan 1969, Demetrio Spence, Vegas Chief Kingdom, Sasha, About Time. What's going on? About Time, I always be sneaking in, man. About Time. Good to see you, man, as always, man. I hope your family's doing well. I'm the Brown, Chief Big Law Singster, Melly Matrix. Good to see you, Melly. Let's see who else we got in here. Demetrio Spence. Did I say Demetrio Spence? I think I did. SH991, appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so much. Lonnie Pyramid is here. What's up, Lonnie Pyramid? Good to see you too. As far as Perfection 2K. Yes, sir. Chiefs fan 1969, I think we said that. If not, and we got a good squad in here too, Marcus. Some good people, some good folks, good fans. And that's what I love about it. Justin Blackwell is here as well. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, man, I appreciate you, each and every one of you guys. Seriously, really do. Let's see. Here, love the stories. I love telling them. Believe me. Like I said, I could pull plenty more, boy. Stanley Mooney. Good to see you, my guy. Let me see who else we got in here. I think I said Justin Blackwell.
JD, Andrea says you're not saying the A at the end. She said you're calling Andre. I think you're saying Andrea.
Is it Andrea?
Andrea, yeah.
Andrea. Is it on? Tell me, is it
okay.
Andrea or Andrea? Tell me number 1 and number 2. Okay. Or say number 3, I'm wrong. On all accounts. All right. Let us know. Hannah, thank you. Appreciate it, Hannah. Let me see. Who else we got in here, man? Yeah, I'm always trying to get things right. The barbershop came in. What's up, the barbershop? Hope you're still here. Stanley Mooney, giving the shout out, man. Appreciate it. We talking that in existence. What we talking about, right? We're going to talk JD to go up there and beat the drum against Philadelphia, the Eagles. Actually, I didn't get to tell y'all this. Jason Tarbox, appreciate it, my guy. But I have, through a source, knowing John Marshall, I had kind of got invited, Joe E's on here, to go to the game down in Brazil. Other things. And so I'm still waiting to find out the particulars. So I may be down for that. So
Yeah, wait, Chief Concerns correspondent in Brazil? Are you serious?
Sir, yeah, we'll see. So, we'll see how everything's going to work with us like a company and stuff. Andrea. So on Andrea, right? Andrea.
Andrea.
Andrea. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. P Sizzle 20. Thank you. Hippie Cypriot. Oh yeah, we're gonna get out when we need to get down there. Believe me, baby. Chiefs fan 211. Let me see. Give a shout out, man, to my nephew coming on here tonight, man, for all of y'all that prayed for him and whatnot, and send all your vibes and stuff to Chad. He was on here, but thank you all for that. Okay, I know you didn't need to, but we appreciate it so much for him and my family. Thank you. T-Bone was in the house. Thank you, brother Rick, as well. Let me see who else we got in here. Marvelous Mike was in the house. Yes, sir. Good number of people here, Marcus. Good number of people, man. So
everybody came out tonight on this lovely Wednesday evening.
Yeah. Beautiful weather. It's always good to come out here. So, man, I think that's it. Zeus is in here. Okay. All right. New name. That used to be my nickname in high school. When I hear people say Zeus, I know who they talk. They know me. I'm like, okay. So that's when I started becoming Zeus. You had a picture my junior year. I started becoming Zeus, like that whole getting bigger. And that when I'm talking about then getting another 4 inches. So 5'11", no 4 inches, 6'3".
When people call you Zeus, are they calling you like Zeus isn't like Zeus, like Tiny Lister from No Holds Barred?
Yeah. Because I could do his eye and stuff like that too.
Oh, really?
Zeus, yeah. Hey, you want me to do it real quick? I don't even know if I can do it, man. My eyes might get stuck like that. Right. But Michael Lefford is in here as well. Let me see Jeremiah de Muertos is in here, man. He was in. I wanted to say that. Let me see. Thank you, About Time. Include chat with wife prayers. Thank you. Appreciate it so much. Thank you, About Time. So here's my Zeus size on. So I can't. He used to have like the crazy eye.
Oh, it's amazing.
I used to do I used to go through this, hit my chest and this wild stuff. Oh, it hurts my eyes.
That's awesome. That's great. I love that.
Look like it? I don't even know. So
no, it looked good. It looked good.
Yeah, life just right. Going to get hot. Yes, it is. So, hey, listen, you all. Hey, thank you all so much. Marcus, my brother, listen, I love you. I love each and every one of you guys out here. Y'all take care of each other. Take care of each other. Love each other how we're supposed to. That's how we're supposed to do. And so, we're going to pray and thank for each other and support one another as we should. And so, hey, man, let's be good to each other. That's what it's all about, man. So y'all take care. We will see y'all next week. Take care of yourselves and your families. Pray for each and every one of you guys out here. Marcus, man, love you. Love you guys. Chief Concerns. Appreciate y'all. We will see y'all next week. All right. Y'all have a great weekend. We will see y'all soon. All right.
See you Monday, everybody. Love y'all. Have a good weekend.
Love you guys. All right.
See you guys. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.